How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to show you what it's like to drive the all-new Lamborghini Revuelto from a first-person point of view. The replacement to the Aventador, Lamborghini took the world by storm with this car, having a naturally aspirated V12 in a vehicle in 2024. I absolutely love that they were able to pull that off. The 6.5-liter V12 on its own makes 814 horsepower, but it has 3 electric motors, 2 at the front and 1 attached to the all-new 8-speed dual-clutch gearbox, making a hypercar rivaling 1,001 total horsepower. Now, how cool is this? The engine bay is fully exposed, so you can reach in and touch the intake plenum. And if you notice, this line right here, that one, and then the rear brake light actually form the shape of a bowl with horns. I think that is so awesome. The Revuelto has borrowed styling cues from Lamborghini hypercars while looking like its own vehicle. We've got a Centenario-style super aggressive rear diffuser. We've got a fighter jet-style insane dual exhaust. The spoiler has multiple different positions, Veneno-style Y-shaped taillights. If we come around to the side of the vehicle, we also have kind of a Veneno-style intake right here, as well as a flying buttress down the side. Now, if we come around to the front of the Revuelto, we've got kind of Scion-style Y-shaped headlights, which just look so menacing. I think they did such a fantastic job with the looks of this car, and you can't compare it to the SVJ. This is more comparable to the first generation Aventador. Remember, they are going to come out with an SV or an SVJ version of this car in the future. Now, the fuel door is in a very standard position, but I have never seen a charge port located in the front trunk of a vehicle before. So if you go in here, we've got a very spacious front trunk, carbon fiber hood, but look at this. This is where the charge port is for the Revuelto. Now, how do you close the front trunk if you've got a charge cable sticking out? Well, Lamborghini has thought of this, and they have an extension of the hood latch so that you can close it and lock it and still have enough space for the cord, but not enough space for someone to reach their hand in and steal your stuff. Now, to hop inside of the Revuelto, we've got this triangular piece right here. There's the lock button. The unlock button is a pad much deeper into the door handle, which reveals a gorgeous new interior. Now, they've made the door sill a lot smaller, so it's easier to get in and out of the car. The cabin is larger, more headroom, more legroom than the Aventador, so it's much more comfortable as a driving experience. Now, to fire on the Revuelto, we've got a fighter jet style start-stop button. Every time it starts up in all electric mode, so we've got 180 horsepower out of those front 2 motors. Now we have 26 different buttons and controls on the steering wheel, which I'm gonna go over in a second. New for the car, we've got this gorgeous digital display in the center, as well as a passenger display, finally. We've got more head and legroom than ever before. The seats are both comfortable and supportive, and I think they just did a fantastic job with the interior overall in the Revuelto. We've got a customizable instrument cluster as well that changes with the different drive modes. So let's go through all of the steering wheel controls. Right here, we've got lane keep, driver assist systems. We've got turning indicators with a dedicated off button, so you don't have to click the same turning indicator twice. You can just click that off button, which is kind of nice. Your high beams right here. Now, this red dial changes between the different driving modes. Right now, we are in cheetah mode for the city, all electric mode. If we turn this to the right, we'll go into strata mode or street. That'll give us 873 horsepower when we have the correct mode on this side, which we'll go over in a little bit. If we go over once more, we enter sport mode, and once more again, Corsa mode that gives you that awesome horizontal instrument cluster. I absolutely love that layout. Now down here, we've got a button for the front lift, a dedicated front lift button that activates really fast, super convenient for getting in and out of tight spaces in the parking lots or maybe your driveway. We also have a dial here, which changes between soft and hard damping, which is nice. On the right side, we've got EV controls. So we've got recharge mode that's going to recharge the battery for 6.2 miles of all electric range. We've got a hybrid mode. And then if we go all the way to the right, we have performance mode. That unlocks the full 1,001 horsepower. So it's important to be in performance mode if you want to get all of the power out of the car. Now we also have this dial here. That can change the rear wing height. That's in auto mode right now. We can put it in min or max. And if you click this button, it activates bar mode and it puts the wing in its maximum setting. Now the best button on the whole car is this little flag here to activate launch control, which we'll do later on in the video. We've got our drive controls down here to put it into reverse, pull up, just like the Lamborghini Huracan, park, manual mode. Got our hazards here, as well as our fuel filler cap. Now we've got an absolutely gorgeous digital display here with a really nice backup camera. So if we put it into reverse and we click this 3D button, look, we've got a 3D surround view of the Revuelto in a live environment, which I think is very, very cool. And then we have a passenger display for the first time in a Lamborghini that shows your speed, as well as other little widgets. All right, how crazy is this feature? If we click on Vehicle, and then we go to Dynamics, you've got all of these different widgets. Now, at first I was confused because I was clicking on engine status and it wouldn't do anything, G meter, etc. But you don't click on them. You actually swipe them to whatever screen you want to see them on. So let's say I want to see it on my driver display. I just swiped it over here. I want to see the LDVI on the passenger display. Flick it over that way, and there it is right there. How crazy is that? Now we've got all of the climate controls on the screen, which I'm not a big fan of. It's a little bit difficult to use in a pinch. If you're really hot, you kind of have to almost pull the car over because it's a little bit complicated, but I'm sure you'll be able to figure it out after a while being behind the wheel of the car. There's pretty much no buttons on the car other than on the steering wheel itself and right here. The rest is controlled via this screen. The steering wheel is awesome. It fits great in your hands. I love the 8-speed dual clutch paddles mounted behind them. Now there's also some secret buttons back here that almost look like they're off of a PlayStation controller, and those can control what's on the display. So I'm scrolling through different modes here using those little pad controllers on the back. You can also change the volume as well. All right, guys, let's take it out for a spin and do a launch control. Behind the wheel of the Revuelto now, and this thing is absolutely insane. I mean, come on, listen to that V12. The level of confidence behind the wheel this car gives you is outrageous. The exhaust sounds incredible. The 8-speed dual clutch is telepathically fast. The single clutch ISR gearbox in the Aventador was its Achilles heel. It was really a pain in the butt around town, but it also was part of its charm, right? Full throttle acceleration shifts. There was nothing quite like it. The drama that it created. You didn't know whether your spine broke or whether your Aventador transmission broke, either which would be terrible and very expensive. But the good news is they didn't lose the drama in the Revuelto. You still get a kick in the back on full throttle shifts with this dual clutch transmission. And the benefit is you can drive it around town so easily. I've taken this car to the gym, to the grocery store, just putting it around town in automatic mode, in cheetah mode, in all electric mode is just so easy. So while we get to another section of canyons, let's go ahead and put it into cheetah mode. That should kill the internal combustion engine. There we go. And now we are driving a Revuelto in all electric mode. Now we have a range of up to 6.2 miles. That doesn't sound like a ton, but let me give you an anecdotal story of how this was helpful. My friend had his birthday and he wanted to go see some comedy in Hollywood. I didn't really want to drive this car into Hollywood because it's valet only and it's a bit hectic out there. So I drove it to his house and then we carpooled in his car. We got back pretty late at night and he lives in a quiet neighborhood and I didn't want to wake up his neighbors. So when I turned the car on, because the Revuelto always starts up in all electric mode, nobody even knew I was leaving. And because I actually live less than 6.2 miles from his house, I was able to get to my house, pull into the garage without anybody knowing at my house either. So it actually is pretty helpful. And if you leave to work early in the morning or you want to go on a super early morning drive in the canyons and not wake up people on the weekends, it is actually a pretty cool feature. But it also lets you experience what an all-electric hypercar would be like with the exact same exterior and interior. It's like experiencing the Rimac Nevera with the V12 and then back to what the Rimac Nevera is normally. And honestly, it just feels so boring. You lose all of the soul, even if this accelerated like it's full 1,000 horsepower, which it doesn't. You've got 180 horsepower. It does accelerate, but not very fast whatsoever. It's just not that fun. So let's kick it back into Corsa mode, and it just makes me appreciate so much that Lamborghini has put a V12 in this car. I mean, they could have gone to a downsized, boosted, twin turbocharged V8, right? And they didn't. It would have been easier for them to do so. They could have put the Temerario powertrain in this car, but they decided, hey, we're not gonna do that. This is a V12 flagship supercar. We need it to have a V12, and I'm so glad they did so. I mean, because listen to that. Level of grip you get is wild. And these aren't even on semi-slick tires. If these were on Trofeo Rs or Cup 2 Rs, this would be outrageous. I mean, it already is actually outrageous. I almost don't even want any more grip. Now, at the limit, it actually does get a little bit playful, which is nice. Shifts are telepathically fast, and the power you have is just outrageous. Oh my God, it just sticks to the road. It's such an easy car to drive too. You'd think with 1,000 horsepower that it would just be absolutely terrifying. Now, granted, I have had the pleasure of driving a lot of fast cars, but that doesn't mean I'm not numb to the fact that some cars do feel like they're going to kill you. And because of the all-wheel drive setup on this car, because of the traction control, it actually feels like a manageable 1,000 horsepower, if you can believe that. It reminds me in a way of the Chiron or the Chiron Supersport, where yeah, it has 1,500, 1,600 horsepower, but it can put the power down. Except this is a lot lighter than a Chiron, and you've got that beautiful V12 soundtrack behind your head. I think this is much more fun to drive than the Bugatti. Now, when we get to the top of the hill, we'll do a launch control so I can show you what that's all about. I'll be quiet for a second. The only complaint of the car that I do have is the steering doesn't have the greatest amount of feel to it. Now, I imagine they'll give more steering feel to the S or the SV version. I hope so anyways. This feels like the perfect daily drivable hypercar in a way. I mean, it blends the lines between supercar and hypercar. I guess at this point, the only reason you wouldn't consider this a hypercar is what? Because it isn't super limited? It's got the power, it's got the looks, but I do wish it just had a little bit more feedback in the steering wheel. That's my only complaint with the car, honestly. The rest is like legitimately perfect. The engine, the transmission, the looks, just outrageous. Now, chances are you're not going to be racing your Revuelto around the canyons 100% of the time. Now, if this was my car, that is exactly what I'd be doing. But the good news is, because of the dual clutch transmission and the all-wheel drive system and the steering setup, this is a really easy car to drive around town. So if we put it into Strata mode, and then put it back into automatic mode, I mean, you can cruise this around like any other car, which is not something you could say about the Aventador or the SVJ. The visibility is actually pretty good as well out over the hood. Seems like it slopes down lower than normal. Your side visibility is not bad. Obviously, over the shoulder isn't great, but you've got tons of visibility out of the rear view mirror. It's an easy car to place on the road, and it just doesn't feel intimidating to drive. So if you want to go to the gym or the grocery store, as long as you're not worried about getting door dings and there's a place where you can park it far away from people, then no worries at all. But I've been parking this car far away because obviously it's not my car, it's Lamborghini's car, and I don't want anyone to ding the doors. And it's amazing, no matter how far you park away from the shopping center, somebody will park next to you. They have to walk 3 times as far, but for some reason they want to park right next to the Lamborghini. It's an interesting phenomenon. Maybe somebody should study it. Jokes aside, I mean, this car really does everything. It's got a big front trunk, it's got tons of space in here, it's easy to get in and out of, more head and leg room than before, a really nice interior, the graphics are fantastic, the brakes work well, it's all-wheel drive, so you could drive this in the rain. You don't have racing slicks, so you don't have to be that cautious, honestly, during the rain, and the fact that you can turn the horsepower down with the different driving modes is actually a pretty cool feature. I'm so impressed. All right, let's do a little launch control, shall we? So, bring the car to a standstill. Make sure you're in Corsa mode with the left dial, performance mode with the right dial. Left foot on the brake, press the flag button, thrust mode possible. And off we go. That is outrageous. Well guys, there you have it. I'm absolutely in love with the Revuelto. And then I think I might be the first to say this on the internet. I prefer this to the SVJ. I really do. I think it's more capable. I think it's more fun to drive. I think the looks are cleaner as well. You can come for me in the comments, but I bet if you drove these two back to back, you'd have a similar opinion. This is the perfect V12 Lamborghini. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing you next video.